The Maine Black Bears will look to give their fans a Valentine's Day present with their first home victory of 2026, while the UConn Huskies look to keep their love affair of playing at Alphon going with a weekend sweep. This is the Black Bear pregame show presented by Hammond Lumber Company, a fourth-generation family-owned company with 34 locations and over 1,200 employees across Maine and New Hampshire. For more information, stop in or visit them online at hammondlumber.com. Now from our Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth alongside Mike Toole and our ringside reporter Jonah Smith, I'm Jeff Mannix. Mike, some chances for the Black Bears last night, but they could not get by Tyler Mueslick.
They got the volume that they were looking for. The quality could have been a little bit better. It's those second chance opportunities that were there, and they just weren't able to capitalize on them.
Well, let's take a look at our player spotlight tonight. It is presented by Oakhurst Dairy. Try Oakhurst's blackberry flavored milk, available now for a limited time only. Maine made, Bear approved. Find it in stores today. For UConn, it's the guy who assisted on both their goals last night. It's their top centerman, Ryan Tattle.
Yeah, he's a reliable two-way player. He plays with speed, exceptional edge work. He's an effective puck carrier through the neutral zone. Really great on zone entries. He's got a high clutch factor, scoring important goals at important times in hockey games. And he's a player that seems to elevate when the stakes rise.
And for Maine, it's a guy who they need to get going offensively for the team to get going offensively, Josh Nadeau.
Yeah, well, he is a creative offensive talent with remarkable elusiveness. He's underrated defensively. You notice he's a relentless back checker and fearless shot blocker. He's not afraid to hold on to pucks, to open up options and make plays. Coach Barr praises his ability to impact games, emphasizing his work habits and maturity.
And our keys to the game are presented by Quirk Hyundai in Bangor. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit QuirkHyundaiofBangor.com today.
Well, let's go with a Valentine's Day theme, shall we, Jeff? First of all, you got to play with heart. That means that, the season's on the line. You got to play physical, play with emotion, but don't get emotional. Secondly, the power play has to come up roses. That means you got to simplify your game, quick puck movement, rotation, shot mentality, net presence before the puck arrives. And then lastly, love your identity. What do I mean by that? I mean short shifts, north-south hockey, get the pucks in behind their D, and establish your forechecking pressure. And the earlier you do it in the hockey game, probably the better.
The series finale for Valentine's weekend is next. UConn and Maine. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Valentine's Day, Hockey East on ESPN+. It's the UConn Huskies and the Maine Black Bears from Alphon Arena. It's time for your uniform report, presented by UniFirst, proud supplier of uniforms to the University of Maine and businesses throughout the state for over 50 years. The Black Bears once again in the home white sweaters with the navy blue and light blue trim, cursive Maine script on the front with white helmets, blue pants with the lighter blue and white stripes. UConn wears the dark navy away sweaters with the white numbers and letters trimmed in red, UConn in block lettering across the front with the matching dark navy pants and helmets. Our starting lineups brought to you by Martin Surplus and Salvage with 13 locations throughout Maine. You'll never have to say, I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's. For Maine, across the front, left to right, Owen Fowler, Max Scott, and Josh Nadeau. The defense pairing Loic Uzero and Frank Jurasevich. In goal is Albin Boya, 19 games played, a 10-7-2 record, 2.58 goals against average, 900 save percentage, and 4 shutouts. For UConn, it's exactly the same 6 as last night. Across the front, left to right, is Jake Percival, Tabor Heaslip, and Tristan Fraser. The defense pairing is Tom Messinio and Kai Janvaria. In goal, Tyler Mueslick, 24 games played, 16-5-3 record, 1.98 goals against average, 934 save percentage, and 3 shutouts. He enters the game tonight with a shutout streak of 145 minutes and 21 1 seconds, while Maine enters tonight's game without a goal in the last 90 minutes and 9 seconds. Their latest goal by Max Scott midway through the second period at Boston University 8 days ago. The opening faceoff brought to you by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears.
I think all that means is that Maine will score 6 tonight, Jeff. Huh?
That's the way it's been a lot of weekends.
That's because they're due. Yeah. Hey, it wasn't like last night. They got looks, they got attempts, they got shots. It's just those second chance opportunities where the rebound was there. They just weren't able to locate the puck. Let's see if they can do a little bit better job of that tonight.
Percival rips it around the boards for UConn as Yuzero takes and gives to Frank Jurasevich. As Yuzero playing alongside Jurasevich, at least to start, his normal defense partner Brandon Chabrier was a late scratch after warm-ups for tonight. Should also note Maine's leading goal scorer Justin Poirier not in the lineup for the second straight night due to injury. Josh Nadeau off the helmet of Owen Fowler, and play is whistled down due to a high sticking violation a minute into the game.
Well, we are meeting with Coach Barr before the game. He was pleased with the effort last night and generally thought he saw a lot of good things. Sometimes you just do all the right things and it just hasn't happened for you. But I like the way Maine, found their offensive game late in the third period. Plenty of chances, like we talked about. It just you gotta cash in when they're there, and that's just effort, focus, a little bit of puck luck maybe.
Ryan Tattle shoots the puck into the offensive zone. Peterson pops it up in the air. Richard, the Buffalo Sabres draft pick, takes it over. And he will find Tattle. Got it back to Dunphy for the shot. A delayed penalty's coming. It is on the Huskies for interference from a play in front of the net. Looks like they'll take Jake Richard.
Yeah, a little one-on-one battle in front of the net. Richard, pretty big player. At 6'1", 190 pounds, wins the battle, but picks up the interference call. So Maine will get their first power play opportunity, unlike last night where UConn went on the power play and actually a 5-on-3. You see the cross-check kind of right there. I think that's what he's going to call it. Oh, I actually call it interference, but that was the play that he called. So Maine gets to the opportunity to draw first blood.
So Maine goes to the power play, which is brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Maine went 0 for 5 on the power play last night. So they'll try to get that going tonight. Their last power play goal, January 24th at UMass Lowell. That's a big hop off the boards in front of an empty cage there.
Very fortunate there wasn't a blue sweater there, as there often is, as they come down to try to shadow that breakout play. And fortunately, there was nobody there as that puck just rolled across the front of the crease, unattended.
Now Muldowney took it away, but gave it right back to Miguel Marcus. Nadeau through traffic, saved Muselic, and the rebound is taken wide by Friel. Holtz got that. They find Nadeau there. Does Marcus. Marcus back again to Nadeau. Miguel Marcus. Nashville Predators draft pick, shoots the shot wide. Holtz back to Marcus. Scott, right circle. The puck hopped his stick. He gets hit hard by Messinio, who doesn't clear it by Marcus. Holt to Friel. Scott was driving the net, and that allows UConn to get a clear. Muldowney indirect to Tattle. Back to Muldowney. He scores! Joey Muldowney with a shorthanded goal, and UConn has an early lead.
Wow, this is tough. The two guys you do not want to give up that kind of opportunity to, especially Muldowney. There he is right there. This is just a snipe shot up over the glove of Albin Boya. Shorthanded goal. Got to look at it from above, as has happened a few times this year. Albin Boya got beat over the glove side. How many times have we seen that in the last month or so, Jeff?
So
more than once.
Certainly more than once. Still 40 seconds to go on the power play here. Maine on the power play this season is 17 of 99 for 72 or 17.2%. UConn's penalty kill 64 of 79 for 81%. And now they've scored. While shorthanded, it looks like it's going to read exactly the same as the first goal last night. Muldowney from Tattle. Russell brings back in. Maine finds themselves behind again. This one off glass and out to center. Percival, though, lost the puck. Yuzero takes it back for Maine and sends it ahead, but on it is Anthony Lane Samaki, and then sent the length of the rink by Janvaria.
It's too bad because Maine did get into their setup. They got the zone entry. They got it a couple of looks. Not really the shot that they're looking for. The shot by Peterson was pretty high. Nobody can really do anything when it's that high without risking a high stick infraction or at least a whistle. And puck pops out. Get the right guys anticipating in the neutral zone. They pick it up. 2-on-1. Beautiful feed across to Muldowney. Buries it.
Dezane's shot blocked by Jurasevich. Komarov turns it the other way to Owen Fowler. Fowler. And he'll take the shot off the glove of Muslik and wide. Round it goes. It'll be Langlois winning the race to the puck. Massinio kept it from getting to the front. Cleared by UConn, but Maine right back in. Fowler to the front. Muslik kicked out a big rebound, but Whitcomb able to take care of it. Send ahead to Shahan, and he'll gain the red line, dump it in, and get off for a change. Jurasevich from behind Boya's net. Murtagh at first forechecker. Jurasevich, deliberate on the breakout, goes indirect, and it's dumped in by Russell. James after it. Back to the point. Holt to Grayson Arnott, looking for the tip by Russell. Couldn't get Wood to it.
Tried to go indirect, or at least get it to the middle of the ice so he could just chip it. Charlie Russell not able to get a stick on it. Good idea, though, from the point. I like that play by Arnott.
Back to get it, Brendan Dunphy ahead of Charlie Russell. Janvaria gives back to Dunphy. Dunphy, freshman Florida Panthers draft pick, and now UConn is called for icing.
Yeah, when the passing lane or the shooting lane is closed down and you're trying to look for options, that's a great read and good positioning there by Charlie Russell. Just not able to get a stick on it. Had he been able to do so, I think he could have had a quality chance.
So after the icing, face-off back in the UConn zone. To the right of Muslik. Max Scott takes it against Ryan Tattle. Scott with a 56.8 face-off win percentage. That's 5th best in Hockey East of any of the regular face-off takers. Nobes sends down low. Fowler couldn't quite hang on to it, and then he gets taken down by Dunphy. Muldowney, that one pinballs around. It finds Trey Scott. He'll come out with it and get the puck onto the stick of Muldowney. His shot blocked by Loic Yuzero. Yuzero almost taken off the puck there by Richard, and now Tattle does have it. Tattle to Muldowney, saved by Boya, and he caught the rebound that popped up off his blocker.
Tattle to Muldowney. How many times are we going to say that tonight? A nice catch and release by Muldowney. He's on the right wing side, a right-handed shot. Watch the pass come across to him. Catch, release quickly, tries to go upstairs, short side again, trying to victimize Albin Boya's glove side. That time he kind of catches it in the shoulder and the puck drops down into his lap and he's able to hang on. But man, these two guys are so dangerous. Well, all three guys, Jake Richard on that line too. They're trouble, Jeff.
Certainly are. Especially Muldowney and Tattle have caused problems for the Black Bears in recent years. Richard a little bit to a lesser extent. Here's Tabor Heaslip. He scored UConn's 2 goals in the loss in the Hockey East Championship last year. Got a good look at Boya there, but Albin Boya stopped it.
Sure did. Quality chance from the left wing circle. Albin Boya has to make the save. Kind of comes up on him. Shoulder save, upper arm. able to deflect it. But another quality chance in a dangerous area.
Jurasevich to Marcus. Bounded right back out. Simpson to Percival. Good read, though, by Langlois to take the puck away. He shoots it down the boards and into the UConn zone. Muslett around the glass. Gerrois picks it up. Gets taken down by Messinio. No call. Looked more like incidental contact. That hopped over the stick of Arnott, and he loses control of it. Peterson trying to keep it from Blais. He knocks Blais down, and that allows Maine to get the puck. Shot in, but from behind the red by Gerrois, and that is icing on Maine. Tonight's game sponsor here at Alfond Arena is Somic America, the world's leader in steering components. 13:02 to go, first period. Joey Muldowney with the early goal, shorthanded for UConn, opening the scoring for the second night in a row. It's now 7 career goals for Joey Muldowney against the Maine Black Bears in his 3 seasons with UConn, and 6 of those have been in this building. Whitcomb gets the puck up ahead to Mike Murtagh, drops it off for Whitcomb. His shot beat Boya on the glove side, but missed the net, and that one hopped over Elaine Samaki's stick. Viking Gustafsson Nyberg shoots it back in. Boya kicked it to Peterson. James able to get a backhand on it and get it out.
Do you think they've studied some video on Alvin Boya? Because it seems like every time they're shooting for the same spot.
That they are. Boya turns the glove over and gives to Yuzero. Loic Yuzero. That pass missed James. It's touched, though, by Dunphy, so no icing. James hard on the forecheck, trying to force a turnover, and he did. Lipinski taken off it by Dunphy. James got it back to Lipinski, tried to center. It didn't make it out front. James tries to cycle, but Trey Scott intercepts. Tattle back up ice for the Connecticut Huskies. Muldowney had it poked away by Nobes. Here's James, but handcuffed Russell with the pass a little. Here comes Muldowney again. Joey Muldowney's shot missed the short side. Lipinski to James. Bodied off it nicely there by Richard. Yuzero to Jurasevich. We're nearly halfway through the first period. Maine up in shots according to the scoreboard, but UConn has the only goal, in fact, on the only credited shot on goal so far. Likely to change, though. Here comes Nadeau. He'll shoot that in from outside the zone, and that nearly got through the legs of Muslett, but he's able to keep those pads tight. Got our first break in the action. 11:07 to go in the first. Joey Muldowney has the first goal of the game again, and UConn leads. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Today's local business of the game, presented by the City of Old Town, is Orono IGA, located in the University Mall Shopping Center in Orono, with a full line of groceries, meats, produce, and a deli. Orono IGA, hometown proud. And at Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you is at Bangor.com, or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Gonna look at Albin Boya, a junior from Sundsvall, Sweden. Second team Hockey East All-Star last year, was the tournament most outstanding player as he backstopped Maine its first Hockey East championship in 21 years last year. But it has not been a season that has been as consistent this year, though he is tied for the conference lead in shutouts this year with 4.
Seems like he's been fighting it all year, and like the team, battling that consistency bug that seems to have plagued a lot of guys on this team and the team in general. But he's a really good goaltender, just not having his best year, and capable on any night of pitching a shutout, as you said, Jeff.
Here comes Owen Fowler. Elaine Samaki and Fowler both go down on the reverse hit there. Fowler gives to Jurasevich. Got it across to Holt. The shot is stopped by Muslik. Scott, Max Scott that is, in the corner for Maine. There's a Scott on each side, so we'll have to differentiate tonight.
Fowler plays a heavy game, doesn't he?
Sure does.
That reverse hit, just, I mean, he's a wrecking ball out there. You just can't knock him off his skates, and he's got tremendous leverage.
He gave up some size to Anthony Elaine Samaki, too. Samaki's 6'2", Fowler's just 5'9".
Yeah, but it's the size of the heart, you know?
It is, especially on Valentine's Day,
right? And we're going to continue that theme all night.
Scholey has the puck for Maine, works it back to Langlois. Now Peterson. Peterson looking for a shooting lane. Langlois has it and let it go. Saved by Muslik. Rebound was there, but taken care of by the Huskies, and they'll start a breakout. But look out, Ben Barr. That almost got him.
Boy, there are rebounds available with Muslik, that is for sure, but Maine is just having trouble getting to them as they did last night, and seems to be continuing tonight.
We'll hear from our rink reporter Jonah Smith when we get back. Maine trails UConn 1-0. This is Hockey East on ESPN+.
Welcome back to Alfond Arena. The global hockey community is at a fever pitch right now as they celebrate the arrival of the Milan Cortina Winter Olympic Games. Many former Hockey East athletes are suited up for their country of birth over on the ice in Italy, including several former Black Bears and Huskies. On the men's side of things, former Black Bear Jeremy Swayman drew the start in net today for Team USA, where another Maine player, another former Black Bear, Edward Stralmack, scored his first career Olympic goal for Latvia in their win over Germany. Earlier in the week, Tage Thompson, a former UConn Husky, buried a beautiful backhand goal for USA in their win over Latvia. On the women's side of things, the University of Maine has produced 5 Olympians, including a dynamic duo from Czechia in Pribylova and Vanisova, the Finnish phenom Ida Coppola, the Italian Anna Como, and Rahel Ensler of Switzerland. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much for that, Jonah. The Olympics certainly a big focus right now of the hockey community. Jeremy Swayman, great to see him in net today for Team USA, making his Olympic debut. Off to a little inauspicious start. He gave up 3 goals on the first 8 shots he faced in the 6-3 win against Denmark. Settled in after that, though. Stopped the last 13 shots he faced on the night as the U.S. won 6-3. Get the face-off back at center once again. Also real nice to hear Edward Stralmack's name mentioned there. He used to be a really elite player here at the University of Maine in the Red Gendron era, playing for his country.
Yeah, he appears to be an important player for them. I see him out there on the ice all the time, and looks very effective, and so that also great to see.
Langlois shot misses the net here. Of course, he also mentioned Tage Thompson playing for Team USA. That may be the most recognizable former UConn Husky in the National Hockey League now, although a lot more are coming. Murtagh had a shot at an empty net and couldn't get enough leverage on the backhand.
Yeah, just rolled off the end of his stick on the backhand. He had Boya down. Boya got a little bit surprised as the rebound came out to his right. Murtagh unable to convert.
Murtagh tried the short side shot. Boya shrugged it off. Will Gerrois turns the other direction for Maine. Oscar Komarov enters the zone left wing, gets around the outside, takes the shot. Muslik sealed up the post. Jurasevich to Holtz, and he loses the handle on it. UConn comes away. Muldowney with Richard leaves for Tattle, trailing the play. Tattle trying to send in front, didn't get enough on it. Now Gerrois unable to skate out though. Richard overskates it, recovered by Muldowney. His shot goes behind the net. Tattle to Gustafsson Nyberg. Tattle off one of the referees. Gerrois takes it back for Maine. Hard around the kick plate. Pichette can't get it out. Turned on net. Boya made the save. It hit off of Holtz.
Yeah, double deflection on the way through. I think it might have got a piece of Jurasevich too, but Boya had to make a quick reaction save. Another look at it here as it comes in on net from distance. Tattle, pretty sure it got both defensemen right in front, and Boya had to be quick. Not often that you see the Oscar Komarov line get pinned in their own end. They're usually pinning other guys, other teams' top lines into their end, but that time they got running around and almost got victimized.
Loic Yuzero up the boards and out to neutralize as Janvaria gave that to Messinio. Now he slipped in his skates, and Nadeau comes away with the loose puck. He'll backhand deep into the left corner.
Man, that's got to be a penalty.
Takes it, and yes, we indeed have a penalty on UConn for interference.
Yeah, it's going to be Frazier. Well after Nadeau dumped the puck, he kind of shoveled it into the offensive zone, a high lob, backhander. He gets punished along the wall by Tristan Frazier and went in hard, awkwardly, and goes to the bench. I think he's okay, but second power play opportunity tonight for Maine.
So Tristan Frazier heads to the box, and Maine heads to its second Versant power play of the night. Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. UConn, though, does have the advantage on special teams, as their one goal came on that first Maine power play. Going to be the second power play unit to start for Coach Ben Barr on this one, but it's Muldowney to take it out. He scored the shorthanded goal. Muldowney gave it away, and it's Peterson to take the puck back. The power play unit is Peterson, Yuzero, Sholey, Russell, and Gerrois. Sully Sholey gets the entry on the right wing side. Muslik picks it up, throws it right back to the same area. Russell pops it up in the air, trying to jar it free. It's Yuzero. Sholey back to Yuzero. Over to the left circle for Lucas Peterson. Peterson, wrist shot. That one didn't quite make it to Muslik. UConn picks it up and clears. It was Messinio doing the job.
Couple of blue sweaters, big bodies in front. Messinio and Gustav Nyberg providing some coverage in front. Maine's not able to get the puck through.
Josh Nadeau weaves in. Nadeau whips it around. It was slowed down. The shot by Max Scott is stopped. Maine continues digging, but Muslik able to freeze.
Once again, a rebound is there. They try to go low to the front of the net. They get the first shot. Muslik is not able to control it right away. Now they're jamming at it. You get another look at it. Here's Josh Nadeau, throws it down into the right wing corner. And good job by Scott to get it to the net front. A little chip pass from Friel. Can't locate the rebound. Muslik's able to hang on as you see players behind the net. That's Marcus getting into it with Murtagh a little bit. Good purposeful play by Nadeau to get into an area where you've got a couple of guys that can go to work, and quickly they get it to the net front, just not able to convert.
So now Maine's top power play unit on, but Nadeau unable to hold the puck in the zone. Pass a little bit errant. And now it's back out again, and Josh Nadeau plays it ahead for himself. Nadeau with a lot of speed. He'll take the shot. Messinio got a piece of it to knock it wide.
Yeah, try to toe drag it to get it between the feet of Messinio.
Friel stop, rebound, score! Power play goal! And the Black Bears tie it up!
Well, they finally get the look that they wanted. Left wing side, this is Marcus out to Friel. Now rebounds available. And finally Maine is able to scoop up that rebound. That's Miguel Marcus off the shot by Friel in the slot area. And Marcus picks it up, makes no mistake because Muslik hasn't located the puck. He's not quite sure where it is. By the time he realizes it's to his right, Marcus has pounced on that puck and makes no mistake as he's got a lot of net to shoot at, and that ties this hockey game. So finally, Maine breaks through on the power play.
So So Maine breaks up a scoreless streak of 104 minutes and 10 seconds with that Miguel Marcus power play goal. Marcus's 8th of the season. We're back on even footing, 1-1. About 5.5 minutes to play in the first period. Maine looking to split the weekend and get back in the win column. And the loose puck picked up now by Jake Richard. Given away, turning back up ice. Komarov, open net, he shoots it wide.
Missed by a mile. Trying to go short side, glove low. Missed by 2 feet at least.
Alain Samaki sends ahead, but Arnott retrieves for Maine. Crowd active for what feels like the first time this weekend.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Arnott all the way in. It's stopped by Muslik, and he's able to smother.
Well, Grayson Arnott's a guy that's not been in the lineup a heck of a lot this year, and you love to see guys when they get their opportunity to try to make an impact in the game, and that time Grayson Arnott takes it to the net.
Miguel Marcus has tied the score. It's 1-1. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Let's Go Black Bears IPA from Orono Brewing Company is the official beer of Black Bear Nation. Fill your steins with pride because a portion of all sales gets donated back to Maine Athletics. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Renewal by Anderson, the official replacement window and door company of the Black Bears. There's Miguel Marcus, Nashville Predators draft pick. And the first goal scorer for Maine tonight. Freshman joined the Black Bears out of the Western Hockey League's Lethbridge Hurricanes. Ready for the face-off to the left of Muslik now that his shutout streak came to an end at 159 minutes and 22 seconds. Thanks to that Marcus goal. Jaden Lipinski got it to Peterson. One-timer hold. That one off a leg and wide. Don't think Muslik saw it very well. Lipinski to James. Got it back to Peterson. Peterson spin move. Draws a crowd. The pass in front doesn't connect. And DeZane sends up ice from behind the red line. No icing though, as Holt gives the puck to Lucas Peterson. Off the boards, Russell has to go back and get it. Charlie Russell tried to play it in, but it was gloved down by Alexandre Blais at the blue line. James had it back for Maine for a moment. Messinio knocked down by Max Scott. He'll ladle it in on net. That's a little trouble for Muslik, and he's got to cover it.
Well, that's what you do when a goaltender gives up rebounds. You throw pucks at him no matter what. And that time it's a little bit of a tumbling muffin that he just kind of throws in. It bounces right in front of Muslik. Doesn't handle it cleanly, and now everybody's going to get in pursuit. As Max Scott, you see the net drive right there. So great to see Maine's 5-on-5 offense come alive, and very often it happens when you get your power play going. And so this is a case where Maine has gotten into their game offensively, and it's carrying over to 5-on-5.
Heaslip against Scott on the face-off, although Heaslip is told he needs to leave. So Tristan Fraser takes it instead. UConn controls. Kai Janvaria up to Heaslip. And he is hit hard by Fowler, who got dumped into the bench last night. He almost did it to Heaslip tonight. Messinio rips it around and back in. Langlois looking to leave for a teammate. Getting onto it was Josh Nadeau. Maine exits the zone. Heaslip to Percival. Jake Percival behind the net with it. Taken down by Jurasevich. Nadeau trying to avoid the tattle hit. Max Scott gives away to Muldowney. Jurasevich has it back. D to Langlois. Langlois ahead to Sholey, who's taken out of the play by Alain Samaki. Gustafson, Nyberg to Muldowney, now Tattle. Ryan Tattle didn't get it beyond the two forecheckers. Friel has it for Maine. Marcus throws it out front, but behind Sholey. Yuzero picks it up. He advances. Yuzero, stop, rebound, fanned on by Sholey, turns around and missed the net. Musialik may have gotten a piece.
What a terrific play by Sholey. In traffic, spin and fire.
Oh, that one hops off a glass stanchion, stays behind the net. Musialik might be trapped. Maine's got it again. Friel backhands to Yuzero. Back to Friel. Wrist shot blocked by Tattle, and that will send Gardula the other way. Ethan Gardula, he's got goals in back-to-back games for the Huskies. Janvaria now to Messinio. Ethan Gardula into the zone. Arnott quickly took it away and got it out. Under 2 minutes to play, first period. All even at 1. Arnott. Thomas Pichette swats it in on the backhand. Janvaria takes the hit from Gerrois as Messinio gives to Gardula. Flipped end over end. Grabbed again by Holtz. Komarov to Gerrois. Backhands around. Gustafson, Nyberg didn't clear the zone. But UConn gains possession again. Gustafson, Nyberg. Gustafson, Nyberg fell down. Trying to take the puck back was Brock James, couldn't do it. And now a chance for Blais, but good back check by the Black Bears. Look out, Peterson tried to put it behind the net, ended up putting it on net, and now a Maine player goes down, and a penalty called on Connecticut.
But when you move your feet, good things happen. Lucas Peterson, a little bit of friendly fire in on Albin Boyer. That could have turned ugly, but he keeps his feet moving, keeps working, picks up the penalty, draws the penalty, I should say. Man, I love Maine's effort since they scored the power play goal. It's been pretty much all Maine right there. He puts the puck in on Boya and watches Blais comes in and just lays out Peterson. That's interference all day long. High hit to boot, and so Maine will get their third power play opportunity of the night. About a minute left, 59.9. So this may carry over into the second period, but plenty of time here to go to work. Obviously, the play starts with an offensive zone draw to the right of Musialik.
All Maine power plays are brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Black Bears win the offensive zone draw. Holtz to the goal scorer Marcus. Nadeau. Miguel Marcus. Nadeau finds Marcus again. Holtz. Nadeau faked the one-timer. Holtz catches, gives to Marcus, across to Nadeau. Nadeau shoots it, it's blocked by Heaslip. Good play to get it to Marcus. Friel, 23 seconds to go in the period. Back out to Holt. Holt, one-timer, Nadeau stopped that time by Musialik.
Well set up. They got Nadeau, left wing elbow, one-timer. Just didn't get a lot on it, but that's the right play.
Marcus with 5 seconds. Holt, Nadeau shoots, it's blocked wide, and that is the end of the first period. So Maine will carry over 1 minute and 1 second of power play time into the second period. But after falling behind early, they've gotten level.
Well, what you'd have to say about that period is it's trending in the right direction for Maine. It all started with that good power play that Marcus scored on. Since then, Maine has been effective 5-on-5, and now they've got some power play time, plenty of power play time to carry over in the second period, but they're doing a lot better with the power play with the patience and not just throwing the puck away. You got to have poise with the puck, and you got to be patient, and you saw it all on display in that sequence.
So the Black Bears are even with the UConn Huskies after one period. UConn's goal scorer, Joey Muldowney, is ice side with our rink reporter, Jonah Smith.
Joey, you silenced the crowd with a shorthanded snipe early in that first period. Walk us through how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were just in our triggers on that penalty kill, and, you know, I was able to intercept the puck in our zone, chip it to Tats, and he made an unbelievable pass to me, and I just did my job and ended up bearing it.
You guys are separating yourselves as favorites in the Hockey East Association, and it seems like you could be in for a conference championship and perhaps much more. How do you stay calm, stay grounded, stay focused amid such a magical run?
Yeah, I think we just take it week to week, day by day. You know, we always talk about not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but you know, at the end of the day, we know that's there and we know what we're playing for. So it's good to have goals, but like I said, just take it day by day, and I think that's been working. You guys went up 1-0 early. Quick Black Bear response. What's the key to slowing their momentum in the second period? Yeah, I mean, it's a hard task to, you know, with the crowd that they have here and the fans, but you know, just keep playing our game, right? We know what we have to do. We're going to try to not worry about them and try to adjust to them rather than just play our game, make them adjust to us. Appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the way. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jonah. At the end of one period, the Maine Black Bears and UConn Huskies are tied 1-1. Our Bangor Savings Bank intermission report begins next. You're watching Hockey East on ESPN+. On ESPN+, the Maine Black Bears and the UConn Huskies tied at 1 through 20 minutes. This is our Bangor Savings Bank intermission report. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. As we bring you back into the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth, I'm Jeff Mannix, and Somic America is our game sponsor here at Alfond Arena tonight. We're joined by Kyle Flynn, who is their Director of Marketing and Social Media. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me, Jeff.
Well, Somic America, you're doing an awful lot of investing here in Brewer. Tell us a little bit about it.
That's right. So first, we make safety-critical components for steering and suspension for Toyota, Honda, Subaru mainly, and we're looking to expand to the North American market. So we're bringing in a lot of automation, a lot of investment, close to $15 million over the last 2 to 3 years, and all of that is bringing in new machining and innovation, but it's also keeping operators interfacing, so it's adding jobs to the community.
Yeah, and that obviously is a big thing. You guys employ more than 100 people right now in Brewer, but I know you're looking to add more.
That's right. We're looking to increase our talent pipeline. We were just at the University of Maine Career Fair this past week, getting a ton of resumes and networking. We're looking for young employees because that's kind of the foundation of what built our company in the 80s and continues to do so today.
Absolutely. And why was it, I mean, Somic America, obviously, it's a worldwide corporation.
That's right.
But why was it so important for you guys to be in Brewer?
I think that was something that the Japanese decided, that our international parent company decided that was something that reminded them of home. So the mountains and the ocean, it reminds them of back in Japan. So I think that's something you'll have to ask them. But I think we found a home here in Maine and would love to continue to expand on that.
Certainly seems that way. If anybody's out there wants to find out more about Somic America or maybe working for you, how do they do it?
That's right. You can find us on somicamerica.com/careers. You can apply online, whether it's an internal or external opportunity. You know, in Detroit, we have an office, in Wytheville, Virginia, so you can go other locations. You build global relations, so I think it's something worth investing your time into if you're a young employee.
All right, Kyle Flynn from Somic America, thanks so much for being here.
Jeff.
Really appreciate it. Mike Toole will rejoin me and we'll look at our first period highlights and stats. Maine and UConn tied at 1. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Our Bangor Savings Bank intermission report rolls on. Maine and UConn tied at 1 from Alfond Arena. As we welcome you back into the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth, Mike Toole has rejoined me, and as we start to look at those first period highlights here, it could have gone really awry for Maine when they gave up that shorthanded goal in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was dangerous. You get a look at it here. Nice little spin backhand feed to the bear killer, Joe Muldowney, and he snipes this puck over the glove of Alvin Boyer. They go back to work. Another chance by Muldowney. Tries in the same spot. Next time Boyer makes the save. Maine goes back to work offensively. They work the puck around. Left point shot in. Rebound available. Not able to get that one. This is a great chance by Murtaugh. It gets deflected. Watch the backhand opportunity. Just rolls off the back of his stick. Fortunate for Maine because there was a lot of net to shoot at there. Now you got Tattle again with a shot in on Boyer. He's able to hang on. Maine goes back to work in the offensive zone. Josh Nadeau throws it down on the right wing corner. Friel quickly chips it to Max Scott, who gets it to the net front. Good chance there. Now this is the power play goal. The shot off from Friel. The initial save kicks out to the right of Muzelik. And Marcus is able to make that a 1-1 game, and that was a power play goal. Good to see Maine score on the power play. As a look from above as Muzelik makes a good save. He's able to quickly get his own rebound there. And Maine, very good period for Maine offensively. 15 shots on goal by my count. 7 quality chances in the period to 4 for UConn. So great to see Maine's offense come alive. Spent a lot more time in the offensive zone that period.
Certainly have, and the stats reflect that. Maine with more than double the UConn shot attempts and shots on goal, but second night in a row, UConn is blocking a ton of shots.
Yeah, they sure are, and they're committed to team defense. That's what good teams do, and it takes the willingness to get in those shooting lanes, and they're very, very effective at it. But I think part of the reason Maine has such a shot on goal differential, as you see there, 3 penalties in the period for UConn, uncharacteristically undisciplined in that period, whereas Maine has stayed out of the penalty box, and let's hope that continues.
So through 20 minutes of play at Alfond Arena, your score is the Maine Black Bears 1 and the Connecticut Huskies 1. We'll have the second period face-off when we return. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Maine and UConn are taking the ice for the second period. Both teams are even. Maine 1 and UConn 1. Get a look at the opposing coaches here tonight. That's Mike Cavanaugh, the head coach of the UConn Huskies. He's now 2 wins away from 200 in his coaching career. All of his time as a head coach spent at UConn. Previously was the assistant to Jerry York at Boston College, also a graduate of Bowdoin College here in Maine, and was a captain there and a 3-year player. On the Maine side, Ben Barr in his 5th season as the Black Bears head coach. This certainly in the moonlight of the Hockey East Championship in year number 4, but this one may be one of his more challenging seasons as Maine's head coach.
I think you're right about that, Jeff, mainly because the expectation was pretty high coming into the season after last year's great run to the Hockey East Championship. Been a bit of a disappointment at times. Games that we think they should have won have slipped through their fingers, and certainly they've not been as dominant on home ice as in years past.
Our second period opening face-off brought to you by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. Maine on the power play for another 45 more seconds that carried over from the first period. Their 3rd of the game, 1 for 2 thus far. Miguel Marcus, who is the goal scorer, gives to Nadeau. Holt back to Nadeau. Nadeau got it down low, and it was tipped just wide by Friel. Marcus had it bound off him a little too far, and that allows Percival to clear. 22 more seconds on the power play, as it's Friel getting it from Max Scott. Around that goes, and Nadeau gets it with Gustafsson. Nyberg looking to rip it away, makes it to Holt at the right point. Marcus down low for Scott, and the shot comes through, but ends up bounding off the glass and onto the netting.
Yeah, they work the right side of the ice, and Marcus is the guy they finally isolate. He does get a good shot away right there, top of the right wing face-off circle. It goes down to Max Scott, back out to Marcus. I don't know if he missed it or got redirected to go wide, but good look there.
The power play has expired, so Maine is now 1 for 3 on the game. UConn is yet to have a power play. Maine staying disciplined so far tonight. Muldowney played it a little too far on the fresh ice, allowing Albin Boya to go get it. Maine comes back 2-on-2. Komarov gets it deep. Elaine Samaki able to send that around to Tattle. Now Langlois fell down, and Boy out to play it. Richard took it away and missed the net.
Lucky. Langlois having a tough shift. Misplayed the chance by Muldowney, and that time Richard victimized him when he fell down. And Boya came out, as you probably should do, but it's so hard to time that properly. Richard was able to get to it, but he's at a tough angle, just missed the net. A lot of net to shoot at, but it's such a wide angle. Fortunate for Maine there. Maine's got to tighten up defensively, and Jeremy Langlois got to stay on his feet.
Marcus
statement
around here, and almost taken away from Arnott, but good positioning by Usero. But here's Whitcomb. Ethan Whitcomb centering feed there for Gardula. It was into his skates, and he couldn't get it to his stick. Now Whitcomb knocked down. Marcus, a blind pass, finds Arnott. Grayson Arnott backhands in. And this one sent around by Dunphy to Whitcomb. Finds Gardula on the diagonal. Sends deep. Holt takes a big hit after releasing the puck there from Murtagh, although it looks like Murtagh might have been stunned by it a little bit too on the way to the bench. Here's Scholey back in front. Peterson didn't get on net there. James couldn't quite hang on to that feed in front.
Too many blue sweaters in front. Might have hit a defender in front. Good job by Peterson to jump up into the play, recognize what's happening. Good chance there for him.
Anthony Elaine Samaki gets it back into the main end. Out with it now is Nobes. Sends ahead looking for Lipinski, who couldn't get there ahead of Elaine Samaki. Peterson. Lucas Peterson. Hard off glass. And Lipinski couldn't get to it. Tabor Heaslip couldn't get it very far into the zone there as Peterson got a backhand on it. Percival poked away by Lipinski. Then James tried to give back to Lipinski. It's deflected away. Gustafsson Nyberg had it taken away, and that was tipped on net that time by Tristan Fraser. But Muslik stops it.
Yeah, inadvertent by Fraser. He had a stick on the ice, and watches it pops right back out. Gustav Nyberg, or was that Lipinski who threw it in front, which is a good
Lipinski.
play.
Yep.
But it deflects off Tristan Fraser, and Muslik has to be quick. He holds that short side post. Fortunate for them.
Face-off will stay in the UConn zone to the right of Tyler Muslik. And we'll get whistles before that face-off. Our officiating crew, by the way, is the same as last night. The referees are Alex Berard and Stephen Rouillard. The linesmen, Trevor Disbennett and Jeff McCorkle. Dunphy to Trey Scott. Up ahead, no icing here though. Langlois is to it first ahead of Muldowney. Max Scott catches the long pass. Gets it for Fowler deep into the zone. Richard, though, wins the race. Trey Scott ahead looking for Muldowney, didn't get him. Jurasevich took the puck away. And now Langlois, a little bit out of the reach of Fowler, who'll continue the pursuit. Massinio all the way down. And no icing on the play there. Both teams were kind of changing out at that that time as it got sent up ice. Loic Yuzero intercepted by Janvaria and sent back in. Arnott to Yuzero. Around it comes. And Will Gerrois on his horse to try to get there. He knocks Massinio down. It's in Massinio's feet. Pops free. And trying to come out front with it was Gerrois. Pichette to Arnott. Now Yuzero can't quite settle it. Now he's got space. He shoots, but a block by Whitcomb.
Bouncing puck there for Komarov. Thought for a second he was going to get it on his stick with a little bit of net to shoot at short side. Popped over his stick, unfortunately.
Gardula right into Boya's belly, and he'll hold it there.
Yeah, Whitcomb's looking for some rebound opportunity. Boya's able to hang on because it hits him right in the midsection, so there's no rebound there, but Whitcomb's going to drive in there, look for something as Arnott pushes him out of the way. That's a little bit of a size mismatch, but Arnott, tough customer. He's going to stand his ground and defend his goaltender and defend middle ice.
Now, two new defensemen in the lineup tonight for Maine. Grayson Arnott and Bodie Nobes both inserted tonight by Coach Ben Barr. Been a few games since we've seen either guy. Longer for Nobes.
Yeah, he was kind of
he got
playing
to go back to
regularly there
Denver.
for a while.
Yeah, I think he got to go back all the way to the Denver series at the beginning of January for the last time that Nobes played. Here's Friel. Muslik slowed it down. Gustafsson Nyberg to the blue line. And now backhanded up ahead there by Blais. And that brings Shahan in for the shot, but it's stopped by Boya.
Had Disdain on the other side. If he'd been able to find him, nobody was marking up on him. That's 24 in blue.
Blais again, but now they'll have to peel off for a change as Scholey brings through center. Thomas Friel sends deeper. Scholey with a couple converging on him. UConn comes away from the scrum with the puck. Trey Scott to Heaslip. Heaslip. Good play to Percival, but he missed the net. Collected by Janvaria just off the bench for UConn. Banks it in. Nobes to Jurasevich. Long pass. Russell couldn't catch it on the backhand. Muslik sends around the far boards. Jaden Lipinski to James. Brock James works it back to the blue line, but Boya out to the top of the circles to play it. Zone was held by Fraser, but now Maine's got it. Flipped high through center. Just missed the scoreboard. Jurasevich sends back in. Janvaria on it. Muldowney poked away from him. Janvaria has it back. Tipped in by UConn. Jurasevich is to it ahead of Muldowney. Gave it away though, and across, and it's fanned on by Tattle as Richard set him up. Now Muldowney gets a look, and Boya stops it.
Boy, is that just luck or what? Because that puck was available, and there was a lot of net to shoot at.
It remains 1-1 with 12:23 to go in the second. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Dean's Detailing has been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1971. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your investment, and enjoy the ride. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. This broadcast is brought to you in part by University Credit Union, where Black Bears bank, and they want to know, how do you see you? Open your UCU account today at ucumaine.com. Federally insured by NCUA. And buy official fan gear at the official fan shop of the Black Bears, Bear Necessities Fan Shop. Open 24/7 at goblackbears.com/shop. That's goblackbears.com/shop. Fowler shoots in for Maine. Midway through the second period, a 1-1 tie. Miguel Marcus with the main goal on the power play. Joey Muldowney, a shorthanded goal for UConn. A couple looks there for Maine. Langlois the latest. Muslik stopped both. Josh Nadeau turning back toward the offensive end. Nadeau enters the zone. Cuts it back for Langlois. Langlois shoots it. That's gloved and dropped by Muslik. Max Scott to Fowler. Rips it around. It's Langlois now getting the pass from Arnott. Langlois shoots, save Muslik, and he's able to punch the rebound away from Nadeau.
I think Maine has the right idea. They're just throwing pucks at Muslik because he does not handle these rebounds cleanly. They're there and available. Maine has just got to pounce on more of them.
Nadeau with the shot turned aside by Muslik. Out with it comes Carlin Dezane. Now it's Maine back on it. Holt to Pichette. Thomas Pichette trying to come in front. Faking the shot. Giroux stopped by Muslik. And the rebound collected in by Blais. Dezane shoots in. Giroux wraps at it. Holt off glass and out. Komarov overskated, able to find Giroux in stride. Giroux to Peterson, fought off again by Muslik.
Nice play in the neutral zone by Komarov. Nice little feed that allows Giroux to hit the blue line with speed, opening up ice.
Caden Shahan puts it back in the main zone. Boya collects, finds Loic Usero. He gained the red line and gets it behind the UConn goal line. Dunphy to it first. Percival run into by Maine's Miguel Marcus. And Loic Usero picks it up in the defensive zone, but he is hit hard in that corner by Tristan Fraser. Now back beyond the UConn blue line again. Percival quickly got it back to neutral ice, but it heads out of play to bring us to another break in the action. 9:59 left in the second period. It's 1-1 from Alfond Arena. It's Hockey East on ESPN+.
Welcome back, fans. It's that time of the season where the national tournament picture is starting to take shape. Teams across the NCAA are eyeing the NPI standings, aiming to either win their conference or be one of the 10 teams afforded an at-large bid to the tournament. The stakes are palpable in this particular matchup, as after last night's win, UConn rose 3 spots in the NPI. Meanwhile, the Black Bears sank 2 spots. Maine faces a bleak mathematical outlook in terms of securing an at-large bid and will likely need to win Hockey East for their shot at a national title. Meanwhile, UConn sits at 12th in the NPI, giving them multiple avenues to reach the NCAA tournament, though it's safe to say their ambitions of winning the conference remain strong as ever. Back to you, Jeff and Mike.
Thanks so much, Jonas Smith, doing a good job of talking about the new NCAA selection criteria this year, the NPI, replacing the pairwise. It is similar, but it is a straight-up ranking as opposed to the pairwise, which was basically a team-by-team comparison, and the more you won, the higher you were. Doesn't quite work that way anymore. As Jonah mentioned, UConn sitting 12th in that ranking right now. Maine is number 26. There's only 16 spots, and really you want to be in about 13 or 14 to feel comfortable about getting in. Ryan Tattle didn't get a good shot away there on Boya as he broke down the right wing.
Well, he fought off the body contact. Alvin Boya stays with it and plays him perfectly. Good opportunity there for Tattle as he's driving to the net, right wing side, cuts to the net front. Boya stays with him, keeps that puck out of the net, but a good chance there by one of the most dangerous players, guy that we profiled to start this game, and between him and Muldowney, it seems like we're calling their number all night long.
Whitcomb, now Elaine Samaki back to Whitcomb as UConn enters the main zone. Murtagh knocked down there by Langlois, and looks like Murtagh had fallen on top of the puck. He gets back up, and play continues.
Langlois was a little bit lucky he didn't pick up a tripping call there. He reached in with a stick, but I think the referee made the right call.
Lipinski able to clear. Calgary Flames draft pick, who's had some very good moments for the Maine Black Bears this year, but struggling a little bit in college hockey. Nobes to Langlois. Brock James gets it into the zone. Trey Scott had the puck hop on him as he tried to give to his D partner Dunphy. Komarov trying to take it away. Dunphy wins the board battle there. Trey Scott ahead to Alexandre Blais, but his pass behind to Zane. Skied in by Bodie Nobes. James is to it first. Komarov taken down. Blais knocked down by Brandon Holt, but with a high stick, so that'll stop play. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. Visit your Chick-fil-A location in Bangor today.
Amazing shot total for Maine, now 25 versus just 9 for UConn. That's unofficial, but man, that's quite a differential, isn't it?
Certainly is. Maine had 32 shots on net all of last night. So already with, well, a good almost 28 minutes to play in the game. A lot of time to reach that mark with only 7 to go here tonight. They're already one better on the scoreboard than they were last night as they were shut out 2-0 by the Huskies in the series opener. He slipped shot blocked by Holtz. And it will roll its way back to Brandon Holt, and a delayed call coming on UConn as a Maine player had his stick slashed and broken. There's the touch by Owen Simpson. So Maine is going to get another power play.
I think if you're Mike Cavanaugh, you're probably not too happy with the lack of discipline by the Huskies here tonight as we wait for the call. You're right, Jeff. It is slashing. He knocked the stick right out of the hands of, well, we're going to get a look at it here. Knocked it right out of the hands. Well, I can't get a number there, but what? No matter. Minor penalty, 4th power play of the evening for Maine. 1 for 3 so far.
And the Maine power play is brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Max Scott, Miguel Marcus, Thomas Friel, Brandon Holt, and Josh Nadeau on the power play unit. Marcus shot, saved by Muslik, couldn't find the rebound for a minute. Nadeau didn't have a shooting lane. Marcus on the goal line. Nadeau back to Marcus. Miguel Marcus to Nadeau. That shot didn't get through. Now it's Max Scott to Marcus. Marcus back to Max Scott. Miguel Marcus, and that gets over Holt sticking out. Boya gives back to Holt. Brandon Holt drops it back off for Nadeau with speed. Josh Nadeau. Marcus. Holt, wrister, blocked by Gustafsson Nyberg. Now Friel fanned on a pass, and Murtagh tries to take it away. Murtagh knocked down. Holt back on the puck. Holt to Marcus. One-timer save. Rebound. Friel stopped again by Muslik, and he gets the whistle.
Boy, in the absence of Poirier, it sure looks like Marcus is the guy they're trying to set up as the trigger man. That left wing elbow. Nice feed over here by Holt. The one-timer by Marcus. I think it's his 3rd shot on goal in this power play sequence, or at least attempted shot. But now Maine will send out their 2nd power play unit out there. But a good power play look for Maine in this sequence, and we saw what it did for them in the first period. It's like their offense came alive and carried over to 5-on-5, but there's still 50 seconds left on this power play opportunity.
Ryan Tattle rips it around the boards, but Yuzero able to keep in at the right point. Russell over to Sholey. Drops back for Peterson. Now it's Yuzero. One-timer fanned on there by Sholey as it didn't get on net, and that is cleared down the ice by UConn.
Yeah, too bad. Kind of shanked it off the heel of the stick. Didn't get a lot on it, but well set up. That was the right play, because they worked the right side of the ice.
Sully Sholey up to Will Gerrois. Drops it back for Russell. Final seconds of the power play. Peterson jams on the brakes, looking for Sholey to continue down the boards. Carlin Dezane, but it's Yuzero to keep it in. He sends in front. It was tipped just wide by Will Gerrois. We're back to 5-on-5. Maine still on the attack. Charlie Russell in that left wing corner. Russell walking out front with it. Loose puck. Cleaned up by Tom Messinio, and out comes Heaslip. Tabor Heaslip shoots it in. Lucas Peterson to Jeremy Langlois, as Owen Fowler couldn't come up with it.
Now penalty expires, but they got decent looks. Let's see if that offensive flow carries over to 5-on-5 like I talked about.
Langlois up the near boards. Pichette got it in, but UConn quickly turns it back to neutral ice. Dunphy whips around and in as it's Richard getting it back to Trey Scott. Muldowney couldn't handle it cleanly, got it back. Now Richard is robbed by Boya, but they put it back in off the rebound. It's Jake Richard, and UConn goes back in front.
Yeah, Boya with his right skate, he's trying to hold that left post. I don't think he was able to do it. We're going to look at it again as it comes in on. There's McDonnell, the turn and fire. There's the backhander by Richard, second chance opportunity. There it is right there as Boya gets victimized. We're going to get another look and see how much gap is between the right skate and the post. Well, he chips it up over. Yeah, that's hard to defend. A bouncing puck like that, he's able to chip it up over the pad of Boya and put UConn up 2-1.
Jake Richard with the goal, is 8th of the season. As UConn's top line able to score again. They've got both of them. Muslik stops Jurasevich's drive from the right point. Jaden Lipinski gives back to James. Lipinski turning on goal. That's a good shot. It was dropped by Muslik, but picked up by Elaine Samaki.
Well, I know I sound like a broken record, but there are rebounds available virtually every time they put the puck in on Muslik. That time it was sitting there. UConn's able to recover it, but man, they are available. Unfortunately, Maine is just not able to get there.
3:38 to go in the second period. Jake Richard puts UConn back in front. You're watching Hockey East on ESPN+. If you're buying or selling a home, call the official home team of the Black Bears. Berkshire Hathaway, the Emily Ellis team, and CMG Financial. These All-Stars have you covered for all your real estate needs, and they make a donation to Maine Athletics for every sale. Tell them Bananas sent you. And get an inside look at the Black Bear Athletics program at the Black Bear Coaches Show, Wednesday nights at 6 at the Sea Dog Brewing Company in Bangor. If you can't make it in person, tune in on the Black Bear Sports Network, the Black Bear Nation app, or goblackbears.com. There's Jake Richard. His goal has put UConn back in front. A native of Jacksonville, Florida, a junior, and again, a draft pick of the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, what round?
He was 6th round.
Okay, so we'll probably see him again next year, won't we? He was
Most
a top
likely.
round draft pick. Likely he'd be gone, but that low, who knows?
Gardula is stopped twice by Albin Boya. Now UConn with a lead to protect again, late second period. And Maine not connected on that pass. Here comes Gardula. Pichette pushes him off it. Grayson Arnott takes over. Gives to Loic Yuzero. Komarov looking for a little help. Trey Scott loses the handle on it as it was bouncing around. Fowler. Now Heaslip took it back for UConn and gives to Brendan Dunphy.
Yeah, I just love the forechecking pressure by Fowler. He's just so good at it, so effective.
Now an icing call against the Huskies. This game is brought to you in part by Dirigo Pines, where it's not like home, it is home. Dirigo Pines makes senior living simple. Start planning your retirement today by contacting Jenna Bean to schedule a visit. Face-off coming to the right of Tyler Mueslick. Nadeau tries it. It's blocked by Trey Scott. Max Scott tried to get it back for Maine. Langlois sends cross corner to the right. Glove down by Grayson Arnott. Now Heaslip doesn't clear. Held in by Nadeau. Fowler back to Nadeau. He's on his backhand and he lifted it high.
Great job to get some leverage on that puck. The puck was not in a great shot.
Max Scott, it broke through Mueslick, but he's able to cover it before it got over the line.
I'm going to say that puck was not in a great spot for Nadeau, but he's able to get a lot on it. You get the look from above, and this is the subsequent play. As Mueslick, again, I know it sounds like a broken record, but man, there are rebounds available. He just spits them out, and they're laying there, and he just cannot get to them.
Offensive zone face-off for Maine. Sully Sholey will take against Ryan Tattle. A little more than 2 minutes to play in the second. We'll have to do this face-off over. We'll let you know that today's game is brought to you in part by UniFirst, proud supplier of uniforms to the University of Maine and businesses throughout the state for over 50 years. UConn controls. Anthony Alain Samaki fanned on the first clearing attempt and he didn't get it out. Now it's down low. Marcus is stopped. Rebound is put over top of the net by Friel. Jurasevich around for Sholey. Sholey loses it off the toe of his stick. Alain Samaki up the boards to Tattle. Ryan Tattle on that left wing. Now Muldowney finds Richard trailing. Drop pass Gustafsson. Nyberg, that one off Boya. Marcus to Jurasevich. 90 seconds left in the period. Marcus got it across for Nobes. His shot, or make that James, and his shot stopped. Peterson swats it to Holt. Puck went up on edge there before it reached Lipinski. Now it's Shahan. He'll try it. Blocked again by Maine. Sent down ice by the Black Bears. Not quite enough on it for icing. Massinio has to play it as Russell tried to rip it away. Shahan to Dezane. Carlin Dezane, a little self-pass, but Holt won the race to it. Now it's Alexandre Blais. Backhander blocked by Holt. Brock James backhands down the left wing boards. Jan Varia gets to it. Blais bumped by Lipinski. Jaden Lipinski looking for Fowler. He's got him. Fowler will go get it himself. Send behind for Russell. Now Lipinski to Holtz. Peterson. Lucas Peterson, 18 seconds in the period. Peterson fakes the slapper. Wrister, blocked. Lipinski whiffed. Holt tries. It's blocked again. Holt one more time. Holt looking, shoots it, tips, save Mueslick. Russell got a piece. And the second period comes to a close. Maine very close to tying it in the final minute, but UConn takes the lead to the third.
Kind of amazing the number of opportunities Maine had in that second period. Now shot total 34 for Maine, 13 for UConn. UConn's got 2 goals though on 13 shots. That's what you call efficient. But Maine is just buzzing the UConn net, and Tyler Mueslick is just kind of hanging on for dear life as they're just not able to get the second chance opportunities that present themselves.
Now let's send things to our rink reporter, Jonah Smith, with Maine co-captain Thomas Friel.
Thomas, you are significantly outpacing your opponents in terms of shot volume, yet you trail 2-1. What needs to happen in the third period in order to capitalize?
I got to limit the turnovers at the blue lines. That's what's kind of giving them rushes the other way and get to those secondary chances. We're getting a lot of those first chances, but then we're not getting to those rebounds.
Needless to say, your team cannot afford to lose out on any more conference points. How can you motivate your teammates amidst such an adverse situation?
I think you said it yourself. There's no more time for errors.
Good luck. Rest up. Thank you, Captain. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jonah. At the end of 2 periods here at Alfond Arena, the UConn Huskies hold a 2-1 lead over the Maine Black Bears. Our Bangor Savings Bank second intermission report begins next. You are watching Hockey East on ESPN+. Hockey East on ESPN+. The Maine Black Bears, despite a big shots on goal lead, are trailing 2-1 against the UConn Huskies. Our second intermission report is brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We welcome you back into our Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth alongside Mike Toole. I'm Jeff Mannix. Mike, a lot of scoring chances for the Black Bears in that period, but the only goal is scored by the visitors.
Yeah, I mean, talk about efficient. 13 shots on goal, 2 of them go in. And unfortunately for Maine, it was Jake Richard, that top line that we've been talking about all night. Rebound is there. He just gets a stick on it. You'll see when we do the replays, he just chips it up over Boyer. Not much you could do about that. But Maine is getting a lot of chances. They're spending a lot of time in the offensive zone and getting good looks at the net. I love the emergence of Miguel Marquez. We talked about him more tonight, getting a lot of shots, but he's creating turnovers too. They're leading to Maine keeping the play alive in the offensive zone. A lot to like about Maine's game, but unfortunately we don't see the result yet, which is tough.
Let's get to our second period highlights. There were an awful lot of scoring chances for Maine. 19 shots on goal in that period alone.
Yeah, there's Josh Nadeau. He kind of throws it into the jungle looking for somebody in a white sweater there. Didn't get a number, but good chance there. The puck deflects wide. Here's Ethan Gardula. Tries to corral the puck with his right skate, unable to do it. And this is just very, very fortunate. This did not end up in Maine's net. Jake Richard with the feed over to Ryan Tattle. Puck jumps over his stick. Fortunately for Maine, that did not go in. Here's Jeremy Langlois trying to deal with a forechecking pressure as he's trying to handle the puck. Thomas Bichette with the puck. And then drive there by Giroir as he gets destroyed in the high slot there, pays the price. Ryan Tattle, I mean, we've been talking about this guy all weekend. Net drive, Maine takes him out. And Alvin Boyer stays with it, holds his ground, makes a good save there. There's Musialik as the puck pops up in the air. Maine's not able to control it. Brandon Holt, who's been a factor all night long offensively, as Maine swarms around the net. There's Max Scott, Thomas Friel trying to look for that rebound, and Musialik is able to control it. And then it comes back to Yuzero. He throws it into the middle of the ice. Giroir there looking for a redirect, not able to get his stick on it. They go back to work, and this is the goal that put UConn up on top. The rebound from the Joey Maldonado shot, and it just kind of bounces around, and Jake Richard, like a good goal scorer would do, he's around the net. He's got a knack for finding the puck, gets it on his backhand, chips it over Boya, and it's 2-1. Maine had continued to have good looks at the net. I know he keeps saying it, but it's true. Yeah. Just an incredible number of opportunities. Look at the shots on goal, the attempted shots for Maine, 66 now after 2 periods. Incredible.
Yeah, it is, and actually they've added a 20th shot on net for Maine in that second period, so they ended up with a shot a minute, but they're still behind here in this hockey game. As you're right, Tyler Musilik's been spitting out rebounds, but Maine hasn't really been able to capitalize. But a lot of that has to do with UConn's very tight defense in the slot.
You're 100% right. That's exactly what's happened. They're very aware. Of course, you know, they've been playing, in front of this guy all season long. So, I'm sure they know that rebounds are there. They're aware of it, and they clear it out quickly before Maine can get a stick on it.
We will take a timeout. We'll continue on the Bangor Savings Bank Intermission Report with a look at the Hockey East Plays of the Week when we come back. Connecticut leads Maine 2-1. This is Hockey East on ESPN+.
Eggeter, 2 against 3. Eggeter going behind the net. Wraparound pass, shot, they score! What a play by Eggeter, and he put it right onto the stick of Massimo Lombardi. It's a 4-1 Vermont lead. Beautiful goal for the Catamounts.
Added to power play 1 a couple of games ago. Yzerman scores! Cole Yzerman with his 14th career power play goal. And oh, did he need that one? Tie game 2 apiece.
Forside feed back to Sawyer, they score. Join the party, they have. Logan Sawyer scores goal number 12, and it's 6 unanswered.
Uche made a couple of big saves. It was right after.
Yeah, turnover. Yeah.
BC had gotten on the board. They score! It's Hagens again! Back door along the near side. He bangs it home. Make it 3-0 BC. Left to the net. Yzerman denied. Sacker, did he get a piece of that as that puck went over the crossbar?
Oh my, what action end to end. Some great saves, some near misses, and the fans are having fun.
Hockey East on ESPN Plus as we get ready for the third period from Alfond Arena. The Maine Black Bears with a 35-13 lead in shots on goal, but are trailing the UConn Huskies by a score of 2-1. Let's take a look around Hockey East, presented by Citgo. Citgo top-tier dry-clean gasoline gets you where you're going. When you need when you start with Citgo, you're good to go. 3 finals already. Providence splits with Northeastern. Boston University splits with New Hampshire. UMass Lowell gets the full 6-point weekend at Vermont, while Merrimack looking to pull the home-and-home sweep against Boston College, but that is even 2-2 at the Conti Forum headed to the third. With that result, by the way, of UMass Lowell's win, that now places Maine 9th in the Hockey standings for the moment. Puck is down for the third period, and that third period opening faceoff is brought to you by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. Nadeau flips it wide of Muslik's net on the backhand. Nadeau gets it back to Jurasevich. Jurasevich walking the line, tries the shot. It's blocked down, though, by Kai Janvaria. Maine able to keep it alive. Messinio. Now Jurasevich backhands to Arnott. Wrist shot, save Muslik. Rebound in the slot, fanned on. Jurasevich tries. That's stopped by Muslik as well. And then Heaslip clears the zone.
That's a bomb by Jurasevich. That puck is on edge, and he gets a lot of it. Muslik has to make another big save.
Tabor Heaslip sends around. Gerrois kicks to his stick and gives to Grayson Arnott. Nephew of longtime NHLer Jason Arnott, who won a couple Stanley Cups with the New Jersey Devils. In fact, had the cup-clinching goal in one of those runs. Sent ahead here by the Black Bears into the UConn zone. Gustafsson, Nyberg, and Komarov tangling for the puck. Maine comes away with it. Gerrois gets it to Peterson. Now Holt, wrister, knocked down, made it to Muslik. He stopped the rebound, but the second one's in. Maine ties the game in the early portion of the third period. It's 2-2.
The Love the play by Jerwa. Prior to that, he creates an opportunity by fighting off body contact. Maine keeps it alive, get back to the point, shot in from distance. And there's Jerwa. He worked from the right side of the ice to the left post and jams in that rebound. Finally, Maine is able to get a rebound, and they get rewarded. Will Jerwa, what a shift that time. Started in the right wing corner, fought off all that body contact, kept the play alive, got it back to the point. They go right point, left point, wired in on Musialik. And Jerwa gets himself into position. Are they going to question this goal? You see Mike Cavanaugh talking to the referee. They're going to challenge. Can't hear a word he says, but that is what it appears. I wonder what they're questioning. Did Musialik have the puck covered? Was Will Jerwa in the crease? These are all questions that need to be answered as we look at it from above, as Musialik is tracking to his right. Puck comes in. There's the rebound. And there's Jerwa.
My guess is the argument is that Jerwa pushed Musialik's pad, which created the goal.
After review, the call on the ice is confirmed. We have a good goal.
Yeah.
UConn loses his timeout.
So that was a Mike Cavanaugh challenge. The goal stands, which means UConn has charged its timeout. And the timeout is brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, designed by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged.
Well, we'll see if that comes back to haunt them. It may. In a close hockey game, a lot of times you need that timeout late in the game, but Mike Cavanaugh thought there was enough there that it was worthy of a challenge, but the referee said no.
And it was a very quick look, too, for the referees. So Miguel Marcus sends it around. The Black Bears have pulled even for the second time tonight against UConn. They have yet to lead this weekend. Lost 2-0 last night to the Huskies. Have trailed twice tonight, but gotten back even both times. Here's Frank Jurasevich giving to Sholey. Sully Sholey to Russell. Russell downhill. Oh, and he can't get it through Musialik. It's still loose. UConn gets it to the blue line and just past Jurasevich.
Yeah, just couldn't get it through to get it onto his backhand, and then there was the rebound there sitting there, and nobody in a white sweater can really get a hold of it again. But great opportunity. Always a good play to take the puck to the net. And Charlie Russell that time tried to create it.
The Huskies take back over. Alexandre Blais up ahead. Jurasevich picks it up at his own blue for Maine. Back to center it goes. Jurasevich again in possession. Now Tom Messinio, Hockey's leader in blocked shots. Now Russell, bumped by Blais. And here comes Heaslip. Heaslip 1-on-3, almost beat all three, but puck's taken back, and it is flipped up and out of play there. Fowler and Fraser making contact with the puck at the same time.
We talk about the depth of this team. That's their fourth line. Taylor Heaslip centers that fourth line. He's got 6 goals on the year. Fraser's got 3. Jake Percival, we talked about him. He's got 6 goals on the year. So they're getting production up and down the lineup, and Tabor Heaslip is he's been a factor all night long.
Yeah, UConn's team definitely has a lot of depth at every position. A lot like the Maine Black Bears last season. Of course, Maine turned about half the roster over since they beat UConn in the Hockey East Championship, while UConn returns 18 players from that Hockey East runner-up team a year ago.
We often talked last year about the balanced scoring for Maine, and that's exactly what UConn has this year.
Now an icing call against the Huskies. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is a local family-owned company that has been serving Maine communities for over 40 years. Proudly voted Bangor's best cleaning and restoration company since 2015. So off the icing, UConn can't change, and the face-offs to the left of Tyler Muslick. Komarov won it straight to Nobes. Bodie Nobes gets by Percival. Nobes leaves it behind the net for Oscar Komarov. Pichette jamming at the puck, as is Percival. Gustafsson Nyberg to Elaine Samaki. And Heaslip gets it out. Nobes tied up at the red line. Fraser played it in, not very far. Trying to take advantage of the UConn change is Komarov. He comes in, but the Black Bears changed out too, and now it's Dunphy with the puck. He'll shoot that one all the way in. Onto the stick of Richard. He tried to set up Muldowney. It's deflected. Now another deflection by Marcus prevents it from getting to Richard.
Yeah, good stick by Marcus. It's what I'm talking about. He's playing well on both ends of the ice. He's been a force offensively all night long, creating turnovers in the defensive zone, getting into the passing lanes. Critical there, because if that gets through, that's a really good opportunity for UConn in that sequence. But Miguel Marcus playing good two-way hockey.
Playing very good two-way hockey tonight is Marcus. He's a third-round draft pick of the Nashville Predators in 2024. That is the highest draft pick of the 5 on Maine's roster this season. Jeremy Langlois, also a third-round pick, but chosen a few picks later than Marcus. Marcus in the third round of 2024. Langlois, third round of 2022 by the then Arizona Coyotes, now Utah Mammoth. Messinio with the puck again to Janvaria. Back in is Mike Murtagh. Murtagh gets the shot away. Scholey the block. Janvaria. Gardula in front, good save. Boya, he stopped the second rebound as well by Ethan Whitcomb.
Maine cannot move Whitcomb out of there. He was the problem on the initial shot. Boya has to fight him off. Then they work into the right wing corner, try to shovel it out front. There's Whitcomb once, twice. Point blank saves by Alvin Boyas. You look at all the white sweaters around Whitcomb, but they're not taking his hands away. They're not making body contact. Now, you can't knock him down because he's not eligible to be hit, but you can certainly tie him up a little bit, and they just fail to do that. You see two really good opportunities, point blank, by Whitcomb there. He's just a force. He's a big dude. You can't move him out of there very easily at 6'4", 215 pounds.
Jaden Lipinski to be opposed now by Alexandre Blais. UConn gets a hold of the puck. DeZane lost it to Arnott. Shahan has it back. Now Grayson Arnott takes it away. Lipinski backhands to Russell. Russell banks ahead. James gets it deeper into the zone. Elaine Samaki behind his goal line. Gustafsson Nyberg up to the blue line and out. And now shot back in again by Loic Usero. Viking Gustafsson Nyberg. All the way ahead to Blais. Alexandre Blais. Bumped by Peterson. Holt around the kick plate to Fowler. One touches to Russell. Had to reel it in on the backhand and does. Max Scott fires the shot from the tight angle that's stopped by Muslick. Fowler.
Scott is stunned on that hit that he took from Dunphy along the wall. He's going to go off.
Yeah, hobbling towards the bench. Jake Percival back into the zone for Heaslip. Komarov with the good reach. Heaslip back behind the net for Caden Shahan, and we've got our first penalty of the night on the Black Bears coming. Percival hit by Jurasevich, and Maine is going to go shorthanded for the first time tonight with 13:25 to go in the second period.
Tough time to take a penalty late in this hockey game. Tied up. Langlois is going to go off for holding.
UConn has a power play when we get back. It's 2-2. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Oakhurst Dairy. Kindness, goodness, Maineness. Learn more at oakhurstdairy.com. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Down East Orthopedic Associates, the official orthopedic provider of the Black Bears. And this broadcast is brought to you in part by Pepper's Landing. Check out their lunch, dinner, and gluten-free menu at pepperslanding.com or stop by one of their 3 locations in Old Town, Brunswick, and Ogunquit. Jeremy Langlois, you saw him in the penalty box. UConn on the power play for the first time tonight, and it took them all of 5 seconds to bury it, and it was Ryan Tattle.
Right off the face-off, Whitcomb with a puck, high in the slot, just inside the blue line, wires this on net, and there's Tattle right there with the redirect. Hit his skate or his stick. Either way, he did not make a kicking motion, so this is going to count. Power play goal, and they're right back on top. Unfortunately, Maine had the momentum on that goal by Gerwa. Maine was rolling offensively, getting good looks at the net, spending time in the offensive zone, and then the penalty bug bit them. And they waste no time, like you said, Jeff, right off the face-off, they get it right on net. Tattle in good position, gets a redirect. 3-2 UConn. Ryan
Tattle into double figures now for the season with goals. That was his 10th. 25, or make that 26 points now on the season as Tattle assisted on Joey Muldowney's shorthanded goal.
Muldowney's up to 15 is Muldowney. Tattle, yeah, like you said, 10. 7 for Richard. That's a powerful line. Very dangerous.
And the Huskies in the lead for the 3rd time tonight. They were able to extend it to 2 last night. Not tonight, though, at least not yet. Miguel Marcus's shot was blocked. And it's shot in now by Jake Richard. Boya able to pass the puck to Loic Usero. In comes Sully Sholey. He'll take the shot that's stopped. Rebound loose in the slot. Friel reels it in. Has to go back high to Peterson with it. Lucas Peterson backhands behind the goal low for Sholey. And it's Murtagh who takes the puck. Mike Murtagh lost it to Marcus, but good defensive play by Tom Messinio.
Well, this is what I'm talking about with Marcus. I mean, all over the ice. Creating turnovers, getting chances off that.
Lucas Peterson looked to set up Russell, but he was being tied up by DeZane. Gustafson Nyberg now swept out by Ethan Gardula. Brandon Holt has it back. Holt and Blay battling for it. Blay came away with it, but good back check by both Holt and Peterson to prevent a chance. Holtz. Charlie Russell expecting the hit from Shahan. Peterson, that makes it past Percival. James plays in, but was behind the red line. That's icing on Maine.
Yeah, and Maine scrambling in their own zone and lack of precision with the puck. They try to rim it back around. Peterson was in front of the net, so he's not ready for it. He's got to circle back. Now he's got to take a longer route to get to the puck. In that time, Blue Sweaters are converging and applying pressure, and Maine is lucky that they get the puck out of the zone.
Lipinski won the draw against Heaslip. Flipped up and out, but we've got a whistle here. 11:40 left, and we've got an interference penalty, it looks like, on Maine.
Oh, boy.
And the penalty on Charlie Russell. So UConn needed only 5 seconds to score on its first power play. Now 17 of 78 for the season, a little better than 22.1% as you see it here.
Yeah, they get engaged behind the face-off, and Charlie Russell just hangs on a little bit too long. Normally, it'd be great to get engaged on Valentine's Day, right?
Normally, yes. Whitcomb to Trey Scott. Now Richard behind the net. Whitcomb to Tattle, who did score the latest power play goal to put UConn in front. Tattle has it back. Richard wants it. Tattle shoots it. Stopped by Boya. Rebound dealt with by Holt. And out comes Fowler 1-on-2.
Send it down.
He's trying to kill a little time off in front of the UConn bench.
But you see the result there. So many blue sweaters there. Got to make simple plays. It's easy for me to second guess from up here, but.
Yuzero gloved down though by Trey Scott. Gives to Whitcomb. Whitcomb off of Yuzero and wide. Tattle toward the net off the outside of the mesh. Whitcomb to Richard. Got it in front. Tattle couldn't redirect it on net out of the air. And that one flipped over the glass by Oscar Komarov.
Well, all that is created by the failure to clear by Maine. Yuzero tries to go up the middle of the ice, but it's right at the defenseman at the blue line. Instead of trying to go indirect off the wall or higher to lob it out, UConn is able to keep the play alive, and now they get back into their rotation, and Maine is kind of scrambling. They're struggling with, who's got who. Luckily, this did not turn out worse for Maine, as that time Thomas Bichette does go indirect. See how effective that is. Got a 200-foot clear.
The Huskies from behind their own net. 35 seconds on the power play. Shahan into the zone, finds Blay for the shot. Save Boya, and the rebound swept at by Gardula. And now Dzane. Gardula, Blay steps into it. Boya the blocker save. Gardula. Shahan, make that Dzane. Janvaria to Blay. Back to Janvaria. One-timer there, kind of fanned on by Dzane as it went up on edge. Dzane has it again as Russell steps out of the box. Shahan fans on the one-timer. But it's on the stick of Blay. It bounds to Janvaria. Possession more important than anything as he retreats. Gustafsson Nyberg gives it away as he takes the hit. It's Scholey, the pass. Not expecting it though was Komarov. He was defended well, and now UConn ices the puck.
I think, the linesman is just going to make sure that the right guys have to come back on the ice. That's what he's calling. But good job there by Charlie Russell at the offensive blue line, creating that turnover, gets it to Scholey. They're just not able to complete it. I think Scholey's better off taking the shot there because his intended target was pretty well covered by a defender. So, again, easy for me to second guess, but it looks so easy from up here, Jeff.
It does from time to time.
Certainly safer.
Fraser turns away from pressure, and then that is lifted into the seats that time by Viking Gustafsson Nyberg. And that will bring us, nope, this will not bring us to a break in the action here because UConn can't change. In the pro game, that is a penalty for clearing the puck off the ice. In the college game, it's not. They treat it like icing.
Yeah, they look for intent, but awfully hard to read that. In the pro game, you're right. No matter how it goes out, as long as it went out cleanly or not around the benches, it's a penalty.
Loic Yuzero down low for Lipinski. James down there as well for Maine. Few big bodies down there. That's a shot that's stopped by Musialik.
That's Gerwa again.
Yeah, Gerwa again on that shot. Peterson. Yuzero one-timer. That's blocked, though, by Shahan, and that might set up a breakaway for Percival. Peterson's back. His shot blocked. Percival tries to reel it back in. Yuzero able to get back and deflect the pass away.
Yeah, Yuzero is hustling back. Fortunate for them, because Percival, it's one-on-one, and he's able to dangle a little bit. Maine finally gets players back and able to clear the zone.
Komarov flips the puck back in, but Massinio played down. That hopped the stick of the UConn player. Maine wins the race to the dots for the icing call.
Well, every faceoff now is going to be critical from now to the end of the game. 8 minutes to go. Maine is trailing but leading on shots, but you know, if you could force UConn to do things they don't want to do, which really hasn't been the case all weekend, but it's that heavy forechecking pressure. If you're able to get on them quickly, you force them to get rid of the puck, and you can create some opportunities in the offensive zone right off the draw.
It'll be Sholey against Tattle on this face-off to Muslik's right. UConn controls it. Anthony Elaine Samaki, one of 2 Anaheim Ducks draft picks. The other's Alexandre Blais. Muldowney unable to hold the zone. He'll send it right back in, though. Arnott tries to dig it free and does. Frank Jurcevic to Josh Nadeau, but he loses to Murtagh. Fires the quick shot. Boya save. Still loose. Boya stops it again and then is able to smother.
Boy, what a right pad save, or left pad save, excuse me, by Boya. That puck was sitting there, and they can't move Jake Richard out of the middle either. He's standing his ground. He gets in behind the defense. His players are all tangled up, and they're trying to separate him, but Jake Richard, strong play at the net front.
Got 7:30 to go in the third period. UConn leads Maine 3-2. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Hammond Lumber Company is a 4th-generation family-owned company with 34 locations and over 1,200 employees across Maine and New Hampshire. For more information, stop in or visit them online at hammondlumber.com. The Maine-New Hampshire border battle presented by Buffalo Wild Wings is the hottest rivalry in college sports. Visit goblackbears.com/border battle for updates and special offers all season long. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
Well, it is coming down to crunch time. 7:30 to go. Maine is still in this hockey game, obviously, but since that power play goal by Ryan Tattle, UConn has reasserted themselves offensively. And case in point, the play by Whitcomb at the net front, followed by Richard. Second chance opportunities. Alvin Boya completely under siege, able to hold him off in the last few minutes.
3-2 UConn lead as we come to you tonight from the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth. Need tires or auto service? Head to Twin City Tire and Service on Wilson Street in Brewer, online at twincity-tire-me.com or call 207-989-TIRE. Jonas Smith is our rink reporter. Mike Toole is alongside me. I am Jeff Mannix. Happy to be with you tonight on ESPN+. Second to last home weekend of the season for the Maine Black Bears. This is one of the final 4 weekends in the Hockey East regular season. Muslik steers it aside. And now high off glass. Komarov couldn't quite hold the offensive zone. Gardula sends back in as we're under 7 minutes to play in the third. Brandon Holt taking his time behind the main net. Gets it to the red line for Russell, and that finds Lipinski. His backhander stopped by Muslik. Back out front, they jam, they score! Maine has tied the game with 6:34 left in the third.
Well, all started down in Maine's end by Brandon Holt. He sends it up the right wing side. Maine goes to work, and it looks like Grayson Arnott is going to get this. Here's Lipinski with a backhand attempt. Muslik not able to handle it. Throw it back in front again. Maine jams at the puck, and there's Grayson Arnott, an unlikely source for offense, inserted into the lineup. Haven't seen him in the lineup for quite a while. He makes his presence felt, Great to see a guy like that who finally gets into the lineup and become a factor and make the most of his opportunity and ties this hockey game up at 3.
Grayson Arnott with his first of the season. The defenseman going down and rushing the play, getting rewarded for it. He did play a little bit of forward last year for Maine and scored a goal in that capacity midway through the season. Nadeau sends ahead for Sholey. Maine has pulled even for the 3rd time tonight. And it's Janvaria getting it behind the net. Lipinski and James get the assists on Arnott's goal. At 13:26 of the 3rd. Holt to Lipinski. Jaden Lipinski got it to Nadeau. He'll send in. Maine changes out as it's Dunphy back to get the puck. Richard turning away from pressure, but the pass a little behind Tattle. Might have been redirected a little bit. Tattle with James on him. Muldowney looking to win the disc. Jaden Lipinski ahead for Russell. Couldn't quite reel it in though. But now Richard enters the zone offside. So we've got 5:15 left in the 3rd period. Grayson Arnott has tied the score for Maine. It's 3-3. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Northeast Driving School, the #1 driving school in the greater Bangor area. Online at bangor-driving-school.com. By Martin's Surplus and Salvage. With 13 locations throughout Maine, you'll never have to say, I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Fitch Company, electrical and control systems engineering, and a proud partner of the University of Maine Black Bears. Grayson Arnott, the man of the hour right now for Maine. He has scored the tying goal, his first of the season. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left in regulation. Maine has trailed 3 times. Each time they have come back to tie. Who takes the next lead is the question. Pichette trying to spin away from Tattle's pressure, and he did so with the puck. Pichette turning on the Jets on the right side. His shot is stopped by Muslik. Rebound stopped by Muslik as well. He finds it finally after he made 3 saves.
Oh, what an incredible sequence. Gerwa, Pichette, Komarov. This is the line we talk about a lot. This is Pichette, right wing side. He's going to take it to the outside, throw it to the middle of the ice. There's a rebound available. Turn and fire by Komarov. And there's Gerwa on the doorstep. Another rebound is there, but finally pings off a defenseman there. That's Viking Gustafsson Nyberg, and he comes back to Muslik, and he's able to hang on. But what a shift by those guys. That's your formerly 4th line. Tonight listed as 2nd, but most nights, there means most consistently effective line.
Sholey has it chopped off his stick by Murtagh. Gardula backhands only to the blue line as Arnott picked it back up. Whitcomb has to go recover it in his own zone. He'll let Murtagh do it. Janvaria whips around and in from the red. Arnott to his D partner on this shift, Yuzero. Tipped up ice by Friel. Not quite enough on it for icing as Dunphy kept it from Marcus. Zone held by Fowler just off the bench, and he fires the shot that Muslik stops. Fowler still down in the corner. Neither referee saw it, it appears. Fowler's back up now. Lipinski sends up ahead, finds Fowler again. Owen Fowler to his forehand save, rebound Nadeau, stopped as well by Muslik. Trying it again from the point that time was Bodie Nobes, but it missed.
Fowler's such a gamer. He gets to the net front, fights off the body contact, stays on his feet, almost gets his own rebound as Nadeau goes to work with the puck.
Josh Nadeau to Frank Jurasevich. 3.5 minutes left in regulation. Jurasevich over to the left for Gerrois. Turns and hit the outside of the net with it. Nadeau trying to get it back. Gustafsson Nyberg taken away by Gerrois. And reaching out, Komarov can't get it, neither could Nadeau. Gustafsson Nyberg gets it out to center. Holt, nifty move on Fraser. He gains the red line, plays in. Komarov had it hop his stick. Percival plays back through center. Holt beats, he slipped to it. Pichette guides it in. Muslik. Russell sealed it up side of the circle. Percival has it back. Loic Yuzero back to get the loose puck. Yuzero beats two men. Yuzero shoots, save Muslik. Scholey tries, it's blocked. Yuzero finds Scholey again, fanned on the first shot attempt. Charlie Russell, Dunphy takes him to the wall. Scholey digs at it for the Black Bears. And UConn comes away from the scrum with it. Muldowney to Richard. Yuzero beats Muldowney to it. Under 2 minutes left in regulation. Gustafsson Nyberg has it slide by him. Richard gives away to Jurasevich. Hard off glass. Richard cut it off. Richard tries. It's blocked. And Thomas Friel comes away with the puck. Skies it off glass. Gustafsson Nyberg.
Well, Yuzero's having a great shift there.
That's
one-man breakout. Carry it all the way down the ice. Created his own opportunity. Gets back. Makes the block in the middle of the ice on Richard. All in one sequence.
Here's Elaine Samaki to Murtagh. It's given away. Lipinski enters the zone. Poked off his stick nicely by Elaine Samaki. Nobes sends right back in. Messinio behind the net. Fowler reaches out, can't keep it in. Whitcomb comes the other way. Whitcomb centering feed, does not make it on net. Maine a 4-on-2. Peterson to Lipinski. Lipinski across looking for Nadeau. Gustafsson Nyberg breaks it up. Some space for Gardula. Drops off Janvaria. The trailer, Percival save, and the rebound swatted away that time by Fowler. Percival behind the net as both teams look for a regulation winner.
Not sure this is the kind of game you want to play with these guys. This is wide open, up and down, and they've got so much high-end talent that you got to be concerned.
Percival shot, didn't make it through, hit Heaslip, and there's a block that pinballs off two Maine players. Holt gets it off glass and down. A race for it now. It's Messinio to get to it first, and the puck makes it out of play with 10.1 to go.
Well, that is enough time to work a play on the face-off. Face-off will be to the right of Tyler Muslik. Maine going to call a timeout and draw something up here? Yeah, they are.
That is indeed the indication from referee Stephen Rouillard at center ice.
Yeah, get a little chance to catch your breath, get the guys on the ice that you want. It's going to be important to win the face-off. 10.1 is plenty of time for a set play off the face-off, but you got to win it cleanly.
Timeout is brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, Designs by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged. On Valentine's Day, I'm sure a number of couples have gotten engaged today. None here at Alfond Arena, at least that I'm aware of tonight.
Maybe you do it in overtime. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
You know, you want to make it special.
Right.
You want to make it memorable.
UConn trying to pick up maximum points this weekend with a defensive zone face-off. That's going to be unlikely, though. 10.1 seconds away from the 3 points being split amongst the two teams. If we get to overtime, it would be the 4th game in the last 5 for Maine that will have gone beyond regulation.
Well, this game doesn't create character, Jeff. It reveals it. That's a quote from Dodgeball, I think.
And the shot off the outside of the net that time. Komarov back to Holt, who can't hold it in, and we will need overtime at least to decide a result in this one, as we will split the HockeyEast points.
Yeah, well, you know, look, this has been a very entertaining game. As you said, Maine has had to claw back from 3 one-goal deficits. They've hung with it. They've dropped a lot of shots on UConn. At this point, it's 48 shots on goal. I don't know what the attempts are yet, but it's got to be 80-ish, maybe 90. That's incredible.
We will be back with the overtime. Your score through 3 periods is Maine 3, Connecticut 3. This is HockeyEast on ESPN+. We're headed to overtime at Alfond Arena. Here's a look at the 3 goals in the 3rd period that got us there.
Well, it's the power play goal, the redirect on the Whitcomb shot by Tattle. And we're going to get another look at it from above. He just gets a piece of it short side on Alvin Boya. Now this is the goal by Gerrois as he gets the rebound. What a shift for Gerrois.
That's Arnaud's goal, yeah.
Okay, sorry, Arnaud's goal. Another look at it here as he throws it to the front, and yeah, that's Arnaud's goal. Just stays with it. Just a terrific shift for Maine. Great 3rd period, very entertaining. 5 minutes of overtime, 3-on-3. Love the 3-on-3. I like Maine's game on 3-on-3. Well, they have not had the results lately that they've been looking for, but they certainly know what to do in this type of situation. It's a puck possession game. You don't want to give it away unnecessarily. You want to be sure of your shot. You want to be sure of the pass. And you want to be aware of what's around you at all times, because there is not a lot of support if the puck gets behind you.
This is Maine's 9th overtime game this season. They are 4-2-2 in those games. They have lost their last 2, though. UConn's 5th overtime game, they're 1-0-3. Maine takes the puck. It's Nadeau. It's a 2-on-1. Brandon Holt got it over to Nadeau. Nadeau shoots, save. Musialik, it was there for Holt, and he couldn't corral it.
Yeah, he was being defended by Tattle. Good job by Tattle to stay with his man to prevent Holt from getting his stick on that puck.
Kai Janvaria with the puck. He'll lug it himself, but he turns it over. Charlie Russell turns it up ice. Russell still in the offensive zone. Charlie Russell on his forehand now to Josh Nadeau.
Right
back to Russell. Russell shoots, it's blocked, and UConn might have a break the other way. It's Tattle, but a penalty against Connecticut. They scored. There was the whistle beforehand as Jake Richard got tied up with a Maine defender and took him down.
Well, this is fortunate for Maine. Richard didn't need to do that because Tattle had a clear lane to the net, and he was trying to prevent Charlie Russell from getting over to him. I don't think he would have made it to him, but he got locked up with him, took him down. UConn will pick up the penalty. We're going to go to 4-on-3.
2 minutes. Diving and down.
Well, I'd love to get another look at this as they've evened it up, calling a dive on Russell.
Oh,
and
man.
It's out of frame, so...
That's brutal. That is brutal.
Yeah, let's see maybe from another angle.
Yeah, clearly interfered with him. Look at that right there. Leans back. I don't think that's a dive.
I am stunned they called that a dive.
That is just awful. I don't criticize the referees very often, but man, that is not a great call.
So it will remain 3-on-3 with 13:55 left in the OT.
Fans don't seem to appreciate this. Looking over at Coach Barr, he's remaining remarkably composed. And I think Kavanaugh is breathing a sigh of relief. Charlie Russell was on the outside. Clearly, Richard was trying to prevent him from getting to middle ice. Looked like a clean takedown to me.
Percival runs into Peterson. Will Gerrois able to give to Peterson. It's a 2-on-2. Peterson gets it deep. Muslik picks up the puck. Passes to Heaslip, and UConn's got possession. Trey Scott. Long pass to Jake Percival. He enters the zone. Percival gets around Peterson. Saved Boya. The rebound stopped as well by Boya. And now Maine gets it back. It's Gerrois.
There you go. Settle it. Oh.
He's knocked down, but it's Scholey on the puck. As the Maine fans get a little more lathered up at a no call. Here comes Scholey. Sully Scholey. Maine got away with too many men on the ice there on that change. Here's Brandon Holt, who played a little more than 2 minutes in the 5-minute 3-on-3 golden goal overtime. Holt drops off to Nadeau. Josh Nadeau comes up the middle. He shoots. Glove by Muslik. He drops it and covers.
Man, Tyler Muslik cannot handle a puck cleanly, even when it hits him in the glove. Watch this shot by Nadeau. He gets middle ice, splits the defense. Now a nice wrister. Muslik plays it with a glove, but can't handle it cleanly. It drops there as Owen Fowler is looking for some rebound opportunity. Not able to get to it before Muslik covers up, but I know it. I've been repeating myself all night long, but it bears repeating. It's just so obvious.
Josh Nadeau on the forehand. Nadeau behind the goal, back to Brandon Holt. Holt, give and go there with Fowler. Owen Fowler. Fowler leaving it to the outside for Nadeau. Josh Nadeau to Holt. Fowler, Nadeau. Josh Nadeau shielding it well. Nadeau, a little head fake. Behind the net, out front, Fowler off the glove of Muslik and wide. Fowler goes all the way back to Albin Boya with that.
Smart play. Maintain possession. He's got Muldowney in his back pocket. He's got to escape, got to maintain
Fowler
control.
Gave it away, and Gardula fans as Heaslip able to force the turnover behind the net.
That's a bad turnover.
Gardula. Heaslip knocked off it by Fowler. Janvaria at center.
Maine's overcommitted.
Banks there to Heaslip. It's a 2-on-1. Heaslip, it's banked across, but broken up nicely that time by the Maine defender. That was Arnott. And now Fowler has to, or Pichette rather, Maine's got to wait. So it would have been offside. Fowler trying to pin it, but it's Janvaria who comes away.
Maine is very fortunate there. Jurasevich and Fowler both committed to the puck carrier. It's center ice. That left two guys behind him, and it would have been a 2-on-1 had they been able to execute it.
So we have an icing call against Connecticut, and the Huskies have called a timeout. Each team is given an extra timeout in overtime. So UConn did lose its timeout in regulation on a challenge, but they take it there. So the timeout is brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, Designs by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged.
Smart use of the timeout there by Kavanaugh. Can't change. You got guys been out there for quite a while. It's a lot of skating when it's 3-on-3, so good idea to get them rested. 58.3 left in this overtime session. Offensive zone draw for Maine. Let's see who he sends out. It's Russell, Scholey, Brandon Holt. Not shocked by any of those choices.
The three for UConn had to remain the same because of the icing. That is Tattle, Muldowney, and Gustafson-Nyberg. Scholey and Tattle ready to take the face-off to the right of Tyler Muslik. Both teams will get a HockeyEast point tonight. We are battling for the second. And UConn trying to clear the puck, can't do it. It's Russell to goal. He shoots. It's stopped by Muslik, and he covers.
Not a lot of net to shoot at there. I understand why you want to take the shot. Muslik's out to the top of his crease. I don't really see too much open net there to look at. Charlie Russell on the net drive. He's on a got it on his forehand. He's in good shooting position. You got to really try to pick a corner there. Easy for me to say. Tyler Muslik covers a lot of net. He's a pretty big goaltender at 6'3".
Scholey and Tattle on the face-off again. One back to Russell. Russell looking to shoot. He does. Stopped. Scholey digs at the rebound. Muslik smothers it again.
He got inside body position on Gustafson-Nyberg, did Scholey, and for a second there it looked like he might have a rebound opportunity. As you see him right there, he's got inside position and does get a backhand attempt in there, but Muslik with the left pad save is able to keep it out. 42.7 left.
Same players remain out there, and now Ben Barr decides he wants to use his overtime timeout, which is brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, Designs by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged.
Yeah, wants to make clear what we're going to do. We've got to, again, you got to win the face-off. That's so critical if you're going to press the offensive attack. But you got to remind these guys that you've got to be sure of your play. Don't just give the puck away. Once you get possession, it's okay to leave the zone. It's okay to, as we saw, it's okay to send it all the way back to your goaltender if that's your only option. Now he gets out the shot chart, the board rather, and does Ben Barr, and of course Kavanaugh's doing the same thing on the UConn bench.
Now a second HockeyEast point is going to go to somebody, whether the result happens in overtime or the shootout. But especially for Maine, with where they are in the NPI, if this goes to a shootout, it goes into the tie column there. A win in overtime would be much better for Maine's chances at the NCAA tournament. Scholey, Russell, and Holtz again against Tattle, Muldowney, and Gustafson-Nyberg. UConn won the draw. Gustafson-Nyberg uses the big reach to get it out to center. Holt takes it back ahead of Muldowney. Scholey, that looked like Scholey might have gotten tied up in some sticks and off the UConn bench. Here's Holt, gives that one to Russell. Now Holt, 20 seconds in the OT. Scholey, he'll shoot, saved by Muslik, and there's no rebound. Holt was right there.
He was hoping for a screen to get set up in front of Muslik as Brandon Holt from his defensive position drives to the net front. Good feed to Scholey, moves to middle ice, little toe drag, and there's Brandon Holt looking for that rebound. And for the first time all night, there's no rebound to be had. Oh.
So Holt remains out there for Maine. The forwards are now Fowler and Nadeau. UConn leaves Gustafson-Nyberg out there. Now the forwards are Heaslip and Murtagh. UConn wins the face-off. Gustafson-Nyberg through center, drops it off. UConn will get the final chance, but a penalty against UConn. It's on Gustafson-Nyberg.
They hit Fowler all tied up in the
UConn!
zone.
2 minutes interference.
4.9 left. Not a lot of time. It'll be 4-on-3. Maine will have the man advantage. You're going to have to do it right off the face-off. As you look there, as Gustafson-Nyberg ties up Fowler as Heaslip is carrying the puck over the blue line. So Maine with a man advantage here, but just under 5 seconds, not a lot of time to fiddle with the puck. You're going to have to be pretty direct, get it on net. You're going to have to drive to the net front, try to jam one in.
Lipinski, Marcus, Holt, and Nadeau for Maine. Janvaria, Messinio, and Tattle for UConn. 4.9 seconds left in OT. Lipinski against Tattle in the circle. And Maine, Holt, back to Marcus. Doesn't have enough time, and we'll go to a shootout after a 3-3 tie. We'll take a quick timeout. The shootout is next. It's 3-3. You're watching Hockey East on ESPN+. Hockey East on ESPN+. A shootout will decide the extra Hockey East point tonight. A 3-3 tie in the records for UConn and Maine. Maine, as the home team, has the option whether to shoot first or second. It appears as though they will shoot second, as it is Jake Richard of UConn who is over the boards first. This season, UConn 2-1 in shootouts. Maine is 1-1. Richard, a right-hand shot. A serpentine route to the net. And he stuffs it around Albin Boya. 1-0 UConn.
Yeah, tries to get Boya to commit to his right, throws it back to Boya's left, comes in from the left wing side. Quick hands. Oh yeah, it goes 5-hole. Get him to open the pads.
Miguel Marcus is the first shooter for Maine. He's a right-hand shot, moving in quickly on Muslik. And he stuffs with the left skate.
Tried to go to the far side and get outside that left pad of Muslik, and he's not able to do it. Muslik does a good job of throwing that pad out there.
1-0 UConn after one round. Ryan Tattle will be the top of round 2 shooter. Lefty shot, misses the net.
Yeah, Boya might have gotten a piece of that too, but kind of surprised Tattle went with a shot there from that distance.
Shooter in the bottom of round 2 for Maine is Sully Sholey, looking to tie it up. 1-0 UConn through a round and a half. Sholey, a lefty shot on Muslik. Forehander denied with the stick by Tyler Muslik. And now it's match point here for UConn. And their round 3 shooter is Caden Shahan. Check that, Trey Scott.
Need a little more lateral movement to get the goaltender to open up his pads, and Muslik kept those pads closed.
Righty shot. Trying to put it away here for UConn, and he does!
Oh,
the Huskies take 5 out of 6 points from Alfond Arena, and their pursuit of the top spot heading into the Hockey East tournament still very much on, but Maine gets a much-needed point.
Yeah, incredible shot by Trey Scott. He's a defenseman and fired it like a forward. This is a bullet up over the glove of Albin Boya from close range. And he makes no mistake as we get another look at it there. Cuts to the middle of the ice and just, I mean, it makes it look so effortless. Just a snipe past the glove of Albin Boya, and that gets UConn the extra point.
So the Huskies get that extra point, 5 out of the possible 6 for the win and the tie/shootout victory here for the UConn Huskies, as it looks like Jonas Smith, our rink reporter, is with Mike Cavanaugh.
Thanks, Jeff. Coach Cavanaugh, you guys fought tooth and nail for the extra point tonight. What enabled you to bring this game to a shootout?
Well, I got to give credit to Maine. I thought they were better than we were. I'm not sure we deserved the extra point tonight, but we'll take it.
You guys are barreling down the stretch with a lot of momentum. How do you keep your guys level-headed when the stakes are getting high?
Well, I'm not sure we were barreling down. I thought, we were holding on. I thought Maine was carrying the play, but I was happy with the way we bend and we didn't break, and we were able to come up with an extra point, which is huge.
Make your case, Coach. What separates UConn from other Hockey East squads?
Well, I mean, we work hard, we show up, and we compete. We do that on a nightly basis, and that gives you a chance to win.
Thanks, Coach. A whale of a win tonight for UConn. Someone play Brass Bonanza. Back to you, Jeff.
Thanks so much, Jonah, as the UConn Huskies get the extra point after the 3-3 tie with the 2-0 shootout win. Let's begin our Bangor Savings Bank postgame show at Bangor Savings Bank. You matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC. Well, Coach Ben Barr often likes to say he's not really a moral victory type of a guy.
Yeah, but you got to feel like there's one here tonight.
And that
right?
is where I was going to go with it. This team had trouble scoring goals. They put 53 shots on net tonight. Only got 3, but it looks like at least they're trying to get that offensive mojo back.
I think you got a lot of guys that are in the stage of their development where you can see it starting to come, but it's not showing up in results yet. I look at the play of Marcus tonight. Look at the play of Giroir. I look at the play of Komarov, although he's been around for a little while. Brock James had a good night. Jaden Lipinski, good to see him out there and contributing, with meaningful minutes. Loic Usero, Lucas Peterson. You can just see the growth of these guys, over the last, particularly since we flipped the calendar to 26. These guys are growing. You can see it. But unfortunately, they're not getting rewarded for the hard work that they're putting in. And this is just this is a part of their development. You just have to push through and grind through and trust that if you stay with it, the results will come. You keep playing that way, you're going to challenge a lot of teams. You're going to get your fair share of wins. But, it's just where they are right now. They battled back, which, we've kind of characterized, at least I have characterized them as a little bit fragile. You get scored on first, things don't go your way in the first period. They don't show up subsequent periods sometimes, but that wasn't the case tonight. They battled back from 3 one-goal deficits, as you pointed out, Jeff. They did everything that they could possibly do except score that that 4th goal, which they had opportunities to do it. They did a lot of things really well, and I think Coach Cavanaugh is right. I think Maine was the better team overall tonight, but sometimes this is just the way it goes. Hockey's a tough game, and sometimes things don't go your way. The more experienced team a lot of times finds a way to win. I would characterize UConn's effort tonight as finding a way to win against a Maine team that was really a buzzsaw at times. I mean, they just volume shooters, second chance opportunities, although not as many as we'd like to see, because I was whining about lack of, rebound, getting onto those rebounds. Although, Muslik, I mean, he made the saves that needed to be saved. He held onto the puck when he finally found it, and, it's just tough weekend for Maine. Come up so empty last night, but I like the way they battled back tonight to to do everything in their power except win. Oh man, you gotta feel bad for some of these guys.
A 50 save effort tonight for Tyler Muslik in net for the UConn Huskies. I have a feeling he's going to end up as the Hockey East goalie of the week next weekend. Just a guess.
Yeah, I would say he's certainly in the running with the performance from last night, and then turn in 53 saves tonight. I mean, or 50 saves on 53 shots. So. And the results here come with a little good news, bad news for Maine. The good news, the teams that were directly in front of them, Merrimack and Northeastern, both lost today. So Maine gains a point on both of them. The bad news, though, is that the UMass Lowell Riverhawks beat Vermont in beat Vermont in regulation. So UMass Lowell actually leapfrogs Maine into 8th place by 1 point. UMass Lowell at 25 points, Maine on 24. So they slip into the bottom 3 in the conference before they'll host Merrimack next weekend for their final home weekend of the season. Yeah, and it's winding down, and we talked about it coming into this weekend, how every point is precious, and Tough for Maine to only come away with 6 possible points. They only come away with 1 on the weekend. And man, you got to be playing better hockey at this time of year if you're going to make any noise in the playoffs.
So the Maine Black Bears and the UConn Huskies play to a 3-3 tie. UConn gets the extra point tonight in the shootout, 2-0. That's going to do it for us from Alfond Arena here tonight. For our rink reporter Jonas Smith, for Mike Toole, for Ryan and Marissa in the control room, and everybody else behind the scenes, I'm Jeff Mannix. Thanks very much for watching. We'll talk to you next Friday when Merrimack comes to town to take on the Black Bears. Until then, thanks for watching Hockey East on ESPN+.